Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
So I called you back, and I sent you an email. Your call went right to a busy signal, so I did reply. I replied twice, in fact.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you have an 80-pound door that you're building.
Yes, 86 pounds. It's 1 3/4 by 40 inches wide by 74 inches high. It does open to the outside. Goes into an old kitchen. It's a bank house. I guess I'm looking for full mortise hinges. Assume maybe 3 hinges for that size door.
How thick is it?
1 3/4.
Yeah, 3 for the height would be accurate, yes. For the height of the door, yes.
Okay. And it is pretty heavy. I mean, 80, and it's wide. So the weight is going to be, hanging off.
We haven't addressed the particular arrangement of hinge yet, but 3 is correct for the height. The rule is 2 hinges up to 60 inch, and then add an additional hinge for every 30 inch after that.
Right. So that's good. 3 hinges.
Yes, sir.
And then the matter of whether they should be for a standard door or for a heavy door.
Frankly, your door is not heavy at all.
Really? Oh, that's good to hear.
I mean, it'd be heavy for me as no longer a 20-something swinging doors. I wouldn't want to carry it around if it was 40 pounds, much less more than double that. But in terms of a hinge, it's not a heavy door.
Oh, okay. I was undecided whether I needed something heavier than a standard hinge.
So there are three weights of hinges: residential weight, standard weight, heavy weight. If it's a residential weight where the leaf thickness is about 96 thousandths, yeah, I wouldn't use that hinge. I would use a standard weight hinge, which is about 134 thousandths,
yep.
And that would be considered garden variety in our industry. Now, having said that, if you wanted to go with 180 thousandths or 190 thousandths, a heavyweight hinge, I wouldn't tell you can't do it, but I don't hear why you need to do that.
Okay, well, that's why I'm talking to you. You're the pro. And now, what kind of hinge? Would that require the bearings, or just a plain bearing, or?
What's the frequency of use?
It's an entrance door because it opens to the outside, but it's, like I say, a room that isn't used that much, maybe, half the time of a regular door, not even.
Yeah, I mean, plain bearing is certainly an idea, but I wouldn't consider it because you'll have a wear pattern noticeably after 5 or 10, 15 years, and a ball bearing hinge is not much more money at all.
Okay. Can you give me a number for one of your hinges that you'd recommend?
Sure. It's 40-inch wide, you said?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the question becomes what is the width of the hinge that you should use? I would certainly recommend 4.5 tall. So the answer is BB, as in Bravo, Bravo. BB, then the number 5,000.
Uh-huh.
Dash 450.
Uh-huh.
Dash 652.
Okay. 4.5 would really stick out. The barrel would really stick out from the door, wouldn't it?
So the reference I was giving was to the height. So I would use a 4.5-inch tall hinge. Then the width. So there's a formula that we would run through to determine the best width, and 4.5 is usually not the best width. And 4-inch would be the smaller option. So if your door will go from 0 to 90 and it could go to 180 degree and you don't have thick casing or a deep inset or some sort of condition
it could only
around?
go just beyond 90 because it's a stone house and the door sits towards the outside, so it's coming inside the door, stone entranceway.
Yeah, so your masonry work is going to limit the door to about 105 degree, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So at that point, you have two choices. You go with a narrow hinge, like a 4-inch wide, or because you don't care about swinging past 90, or you say, whoa, I want to swing this door to 180, which then we have to calculate. You can see what we'd have to calculate to move that pivot point out. Okay. So your part number should be the same thing, except that middle set, 450, make that 454. 454.
And what size hinge is that?
That's 4.5 tall, and it's 4 wide.
Okay. All right.
Did you say it swings out?
No, swings
okay.
in.
Okay,
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a right-handed reverse.
Well, if it's a right-hand reverse, then it swings out.
Well, I looked at that Stanley site that you recommended in your video, and that's how I read it.
If your door swings into the home, then it ain't a right-hand reverse.
Okay, I'm inside.
And what I mean is a reverse, when you put the term reverse at the end, it inherently means it swings out like the passenger side on a car. That's a right-hand reverse.
Ah, but then I misread it then.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to figure it out. I mean, literally, it took me 2 years in my career before I had that clear.
I looked at it and I said, "Oh, this is great. There's a good example there. I could sound like I'm intelligent, like I've done a little bit of research, and here I'm fucking up."
No, you have. I just think what you have is a left hand.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and who's the manufacturer of that guy?
Bomber.
Who?
Bomber. Bommer. They've been making hinges since 1876.
I'll be damned.
Yep.
And what?
Who was the president in 1876? That's the bigger question.
I'd say Harrison or Grover Cleaver or something. I don't know.
It's amazing that you take a stab at it. It's a guy. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, who was it? Do you know?
Yeah. Rutherford. Of course I do. Rutherford B. Hayes.
It was the centennial year, so I should have known.
Yeah, you had Grant, you had Hayes. They tried to get Grant back in for 1880. Garfield got brought in at the last minute. He was assassinated. Then it was Chester Alan Arthur, and on down the slide.
Wow, you're impressing me, Richard.
Oh, you got to read, right? So I happen to be going through biographies, presidential biographies.
I've been going through biographies too, but it's been musicians. I read that Keith Richards autobiography recently. It was interesting.
Yeah, I've done that stuff, but the time has to be right. I have to be needing a break from more cerebral stuff in the sense that I want the caliber of the language that's used to be lowered in terms of, I've never even heard of this word. I have to look it up.
Yeah,
and then I have
it.
to be ready for just crazy tales of things that I know are 100% true, or at least I believe they to be.
Well, I made the mistake of asking my old high school buddy if he'd read anything good recently, and he gave me a list of musicians' biographies, and I was just like, okay. And
I heard Jim Morrison's is really good. I haven't done it yet. I've done Sammy Hagar's. That was the last one I did because I was obvious. Well, it doesn't matter, but Van Halen was in the news lately, so.
I just did Fred Neil, who wasn't very well known, and I just loved it. But I love Fred Neil, so somebody wrote a biography, and it was great.
Is he jazz?
No, he was the folk scene in the village back in the 60s, and he kind of was the musician's musician. The one thing you would know, he wrote Everybody's Talking at Me.
Yeah, I'd have to hear it.
The song from Midnight Cowboy, maybe?
Oh gosh, that's the 70s, or maybe 80, maybe 79 or 80, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Is that expensive? That hinge?
About $12 a hinge.
Oh, that's reasonable. And do you have them in stock?
I do. I have been assuming that you want satin chrome.
Oh. Is there anything darker?
Let's see. In a oil rubbed. I don't have any 4.5 by 4s in oil rubbed. I've got 4.5 by 4.5 in oil rubbed. I'd have to order a 4.5 by 4 in oil rubbed.
How about a 4x4?
No, I don't keep any of that stuff. Only because it's outside of what we do as a mainstay. You'll see that in the residential world, obviously.
Okay. All right. Well, then it may be down to a chrome. Satin chrome is the only one we have?
It's the only one that I stock.
Okay. All right. Let me talk to my partner and see what he says. Is there a way I could take the chrome off?
Well, it's a steel-based material and it's plated, and
so
where there's
rust.
a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
But powder coating it wouldn't be a good idea because you've got grease in the bearing packets.
Yeah. How long would it take to order one of these out?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah. I want to get this damn thing over with and hung. All right, let me talk to Mark and see what he thinks about chrome. And if he's okay with that, I'll just order that. Where you guys at?
I'm in Southern Florida.
Okay. All right. I'll get back with you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.